Welcome to the Alchemist Nation Podcast. We are a community of business and real estate professionals who are on a shared mission to help every individual achieve financial freedom through right action, the right knowledge, and the right accountability. Join me, Andrew McMurray, and my co-host, Mitch Jaworski, as we find and interview those who have mastered wealth and who have a desire to share their wisdom with you. Enjoy.
Welcome to another episode of the Alchemist Nation Podcast. Per the usual, we have an awesome guest for you, but we're changing it up because I'm happy that we have a female guest because I feel like we don't have enough. And our guest today's got some, I think, really powerful ways to go about building your business, especially as a realtor. So, Andrew, tell us about who we got today. Oh, by the way, I almost forgot. I'm Mitch Jaworski. I'm your host with my co-host, Andrew McMurray, who is going to tell you about our wonderful guest.
What's going on, Mitch? Thank you so much for being here and having me and welcoming me in. It's good to see you, brother.
Yes, sir.
So today we have a very special guest, guys. I'm really excited. So she has turned the world of real estate on its head using the power of YouTube. So Karin Carr, she's been a real estate agent since 2005, and she's the founder of Video Boss Agent Academy. Karin's a master at leveraging YouTube, not just for generating leads, but also to create a brand that builds trust and people want to engage with. So she's here to share her journey, which took her from relocating multiple times and starting from scratch with her business to now she gets, I could be incorrect here, but I believe it's up to 75% of her business just from her YouTube channel alone. More. Oh my goodness. With zero cold calling involved, guys, right? So incredible stuff. I'm excited to hear more about this. Karin, it's an absolute pleasure to have you here. Welcome.
Oh my gosh, such a fabulous intro. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely.
I am so excited that you said she literally pretty much just gets warm leads. Like, cold calling? Yeah. What's that? I don't need to do that.
They're all warm leads. It is the greatest thing. If I could have gone back in time and started YouTube sooner, like 2010, 12, the only regret I have is that I didn't start earlier. It works that well.
That's so awesome.
I'm sorry.
Oh no. See, look, we both have so many questions already.
I do. Maybe we should go back and forth.
I just, I'm just stuck on the warm leads thing because I see that with so many people and there's different ways to go about it. Like, Drew, another member of Alchemist Nation, he does like wholesaling and wholesaling, and all his leads are warm because he does advertising. He does like TV ads and radio ads. So there's so many different ways to use social media to get the warm leads. But the warm leads are just so much better because it's like, you have someone that is an actual potential client as opposed to just calling a list and trying to find a potential client. So, that didn't, like, I saw the smile on your face. You're like, warm leads. Yes, I should have done this so much sooner.
Yep. It's like the conversation is so different when someone comes to me and says, hey, my husband was offered a job in Savannah. We're going to be moving there. We would like to buy a house. We've seen all of your videos. I feel like I know you already. Will you help us? Oh, by the way, I'm not talking to any other real estate agent, and I'm ready to sign an exclusive buyer brokerage agreement with you right now, all because of these videos that I was making. And they are not listing tour videos. They are not videos that are all about the house. That conversation is a million times better than me calling saying, hey, I saw that your listing expired today. I know why. Want me to tell you? Like, it's a whole different conversation, whether I initiate the conversation or they do. And the conversion rate is ridiculous. The only time they don't convert is if they decide not to move after all. Like, the conversion ratio is easily 50% or higher.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
So as a realtor, you're basically generating all your business and all your leads from your YouTube channel.
Yes. And I built a team of 9 agents, and that was my value add to anybody that wanted to join my team. I said, I've got this established YouTube channel. All of our business is inbound. We're getting, 30,000 organic views a month. We're getting 350 new subscribers a month. We're getting, at the height of it, it was probably 5 leads a day of people that were coming to our website. They filled out a form, or they just picked up the phone and called me directly, or they sent me an email, or they sent me a DM on social. And they were reaching out to us saying, we want to work with you guys. And then I would just hand all of the agents on the team these leads on a silver platter of people who were ready, willing, and able, and they were ready to go. And that was part of the thing that I offered to these agents in exchange for the split that they were going to give me, because I'm not a broker owner. So they had to pay me a split and they had to pay the brokerage a split. So it was like, well, what can I give them that makes it worth them giving up a huge chunk of their commission, right? I'm going to pay for the website. I'm going to pay for the YouTube channel. I'm going to pay for a video editor. So the only thing you have to do is film the video. I will take it from there. I'll even tell you what to say. I will write the dang script for you. You just film it. We will take it from there. And then when I give you all of these leads and you close them, you share the commission with me. And hardly anybody ever left the team because they were being kept busy. They were getting so many inbound leads that they had no reason to want to go somewhere else.
Why would they? I mean,
right.
They're just being fed clients.
Right.
That's so awesome. So yeah. I'm sure a lot of people have, at least I know I'm curious because I've done the social media thing in, different industries. And obviously when you're posting on YouTube, it's not like you post a few videos and boom, everyone's calling me. Like it takes some time to build, following and to, kind of build that viewership or have your, videos kind of pop up in general searches. So what was the timeline on that for when you were initially building your channel? What did that look like in terms of how often were you posting? How long were you posting before you really started making headway?
Okay. So my story in a nutshell was I got licensed in Northern California. And then after 9 years there, we moved to Hilton Head, South Carolina. And then we moved to Atlanta, Georgia. And then we moved to Savannah, Georgia, all in the space of about 4 years. So I started making YouTube videos in Atlanta because I was in another new place where I had no name recognition and no market share and nobody knew me. And I had no idea what the heck I was doing. I would just be like, I got nothing to do today. I got nobody to work with. I got no clients. I'll make a YouTube video. What's the difference between the appraisal and the home inspection? Because I worked with a lot of first-time buyers and I would always get that question. And so I made a video to tell them what the difference was. And I uploaded it to YouTube. And then I didn't think about it and I made another one maybe a month later. So I was making all these very sporadic videos with no time frame, no consistency, no content calendar, no nothing. And then we moved to Savannah. As soon as I got to Savannah, maybe 5 days later, I got my first lead from my channel. Unfortunately, he wanted to move to Atlanta. I was like, really, dude, you couldn't have called me a month ago. You really? I just moved 5 hours away. But I thought, okay, so I'd been making videos totally with no plan. It had probably been 6 or 8 months, but it was like a grand total of maybe 6 or 8 videos. It was not a lot of videos. And so it took a while, but I got this lead. And when he called me, he said, I feel like I know you already. I can't believe I'm talking to you. You're a celebrity, like this crazy stuff. I'm going, am I being punked right now? What do you mean I'm a celebrity? I have this itty bitty YouTube channel that has like 18 subscribers. And you're telling me that I'm a celebrity. And when I told him that I couldn't help him because I'd moved away, he was so disappointed. His wife was like crushed that we were not going to get to meet and hang out. And that was when I really thought, oh my God, the power of video. Like everybody tells us, be making video. And we know this, but then we don't really do it. And this was the first time that it was like, oh, the heavens parted and the angels began to sing, and I really got it. So that was in June of 2017. And at that point, I said, I'm going to make one video a week and they're going to suck because I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to figure it out. And I will just plan that they're going to be terrible at the beginning, but I will get better as I go because the more we practice, the better we get. And I intentionally tried to give myself this mindset of, the first day that you play football, you do not win a Heisman Trophy, right? You don't go out and you're the best person ever the first time. You have to practice over and over and over and over and over again just to get to be average. And then you keep going and eventually you get to be good. So I tried to just say, I give myself permission to completely suck at this because I'm new in town. I have no business. What else do I have to do? I have nothing to lose, right? There's no downside. If the videos suck, no one will see them. So what? I've wasted time, but that's it. It was 90 days before I got a come list me phone call. And then 2 weeks later, I got another come list me phone call. And then they started coming more frequently. Within 6 months, almost all of my business was coming from my YouTube channel. I was still in a lot of, it's not really buying leads, but they would send you the lead. And if you close them, you'd pay them a referral fee. But it was one, what was it called? I can't even remember the name of the website. It was one where like, when agents compete, you win, one of those stupid things. And I was able to get rid of that completely within 6 months because all of my leads were now inbound. And within a year, I went to my broker and said, I am so insanely busy. What the hell? And she said, I think it's time for you to form a team. So I formed a team in 12 months because I had so many leads coming in. I could not handle it all myself. That's insane.
I call that a New York Yankees problem, as in, oh my God, I have 4 all-star pitchers. Which one do I pitch? Right?
I know,
good problems.
Like, right. That's the kind of problem to have, right?
100%.
So
all YouTube, right? No, not
all
other
YouTube.
Media platform. Interesting.
No. So I had Facebook and I would use it to keep in touch with my friends from high school and, you know, my aunt and uncle who live in Boston and wanted to see pictures of the kids, but I wasn't really using it for business. I tried running a bunch of Facebook ads and I could get people to opt in, but I could not convert them to save my life because now in retrospect, the ads that I was running, I was basically targeting first-time buyers with bad credit. So why would I think that that would turn into a great lead, right? But I was saying like, hey, here's a list of houses under $100,000. Well, sure, they want to buy those. And then I would get this lead and I would try to convert them. And, oh, I'm sorry, your FICO score is 480. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know it went that low. So I was getting leads, but they were not ready, willing, and able.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That ad sounds like it's better targeted an investor. You told me you got a bunch of houses for under 100K.
Right?
Let's go.
Yeah.
What are the rents? Do the numbers work?
Yes. So we'll talk about that in a minute. I didn't have Instagram. I didn't have Snapchat. I had a profile on LinkedIn. I never used it. So basically I was not using social media at all. I was only using YouTube, and I don't consider YouTube to be social media because it's a search engine that is owned by Google. I consider it to be a search engine. So this is why I love YouTube so much. Nobody goes on YouTube and just happens to see your video by accident. They will only see your video if either A, they have searched for this topic before, and so this video shows up in the search results, and then they have to click on it to see it. It doesn't just automatically start to play in their feed. So it's not me making the video and then shoving it down their throat. It is them seeking it out and then choosing to click on it to watch it. So that's the first scenario. The second is YouTube says, oh, because you watched this video once before about like how to sell my home fast in Tampa, Florida, I'm going to show you Karen's video because it's on the same topic. So it's looking at your past watch history, what you've watched, what you searched for, what you clicked on, what you gave a thumbs up, what you wrote a comment, if you saved it to your playlist, if you forwarded it to your spouse. It's looking at all of those things. You will never see any of my videos unless one of those two things has happened before. Or I just create some viral video of like, I was buried alive for 48 hours. You know, Mr. Beast does that and he shows up on the homepage of YouTube and anybody could possibly watch it because it's super entertaining and crazy. Those are not the videos that I make, right? So my videos are, hey, 7 things you need to know if you're moving to Savannah. Nobody is going to watch that video unless they're thinking about moving to Savannah.
100%. And that's what's beautiful. It's targeted and people search that item and therefore you're in the mix. And
yes.
And obviously as your channel gets more popular, you end up at the top of searches. My mind's blown right now because like a lot of these videos you said as examples, I'm like, damn, I wrote a book teaching people those topics and I should have just made you, like I literally wrote like my book, Scared Cat Guide, Investing in Rental Properties. I wrote it in 2017. A lot of these like difference between appraisal and inspection, all that stuff.
Yes.
And I'm like, I should have just like, those would be on YouTube for 6 years now and probably have made way more headway.
Okay, so that is another reason why YouTube is so amazing. If I made that video and I put it on Instagram, how long do you think anyone would see it? 3 days, 4 days,
Exactly.
maybe 5 days. But I put it on YouTube and people search and they find videos from 2017 all day long. And I still get inbound leads from videos I made in 2017. So it's an evergreen search strategy. If I'm going to take the time to film this video and make it good and edit it, I want it to be found forever, not for the next 7 days.
Yep. This
And something else. So anybody that has a blog, if any of your members are blogging, any of the people in your community, every freaking blog post that you made, you can make a video of that. You can use the blog as your script. You don't even have to write something new. And 100%. Then take the URL of the video and embed it in the middle of the blog post. So now they come to your blog, they're reading it, but you know, the whole like too long didn't read thing. Let's just put the video right in the middle of the page. If they click on it and they watch your 10-minute long video, what does that do to your bounce rate? It keeps them on your page so they don't bounce. So that's only helping. Now you're getting FaceTime with this person. They're getting to know your personality, not just your written style. And you're keeping them on your website longer because they would rather watch a video than read a blog post, right?
100%.
So like YouTube is freaking amazing. And you said something earlier about SEO and searching and stuff like that. You don't even have to have this amazing channel if nobody else is doing this. Like when you're competing against no one, you show up in the search results because there's nobody else there. So like when you know that very few other people are doing this strategy, it's so easy to rank at the top of the YouTube search results. And because Google owns YouTube, you go to Google and you search for like how to buy an Airbnb in West Palm Beach, and your video shows up at the top of the organic search results because Google wants to show YouTube videos on Google search results pages 100%. All day long.
This
for free, no ad spend.
I'm just
totally for free.
I'm gonna need to I need a timeout and need like a water break and a towel over my head because Karin literally just had me reevaluate the last 7 years of my content creation, and I don't feel good about it right now. Like I have PTSD for content creation for the last 7 years.
Gosh.
I've done it all wrong.
Let me make you feel better because I discovered this.
Videos.
I discovered this totally by accident, right? So when I moved to Atlanta and I had no business, I got a website and I was like, okay, I'm going to blog because I hate cold calling. I would call the expireds. I would call the FISBOs. They were like, you people are freaking vultures. Stop calling me and hang up on me and call me all kinds of terrible names. And I was like, I am a 50-year-old woman. I do not feel like getting hung up on at this stage in my life. I've been a realtor now for 15 years. This is not helping my ego. So I got the website and I started blogging, and I was totally self-taught on SEO and how to rank and all that stuff. But I found a million great, blog posts and YouTube channels to learn from. And then one day I just thought, Google owns YouTube. Why can't all of this apply to a YouTube video? So if I know how to make the blog post rank on Google, why couldn't I make the video rank on YouTube? And at the time, I didn't know that the video would also rank on Google. I just was concerned about ranking on YouTube. So I made a video version of the blog post, and I used the same keyword, and I used all of the same principles of use the keyword in the title, use the keyword in the tags, put it in the description below the video, say it a couple of times in the videos. And that started to work. And I was like, holy crap, that's so much faster than writing a blog post. I should just do this instead. And then eventually I was like, oh, wait a minute, I should do both. I should put them together, right? Have the blog, have the video, put the video in the blog. And then I was just freaking dominating Google all day long without spending $1 on advertising. So I am just so grateful that like one day I went, I wonder if that would work on YouTube. I'm going to try it. And lo and behold, it did.
So awesome.
So what's your strategy from here? Like how do you see yourself growing? Like where do you want to grow from here with the platform?
Well, I retired my real estate team. I discovered that I really did not enjoy being a team leader. I had all these agents working for me, but what I really loved was teaching other agents this whole strategy about YouTube. So I wrote a book about it. It's back there on my bookshelf. It's called YouTube for Real Estate Agents. people started calling me and being like, will you teach me how to do this? And I said, are you joking? I am so busy right now. I don't have time to like brush my hair in the morning, let alone teach you my whole strategy. So eventually I created a whole digital course. I was like, it's a super cheap course. Just go buy it and stop calling me and asking me questions. But then people started coming back and being like, oh my God, I just got $1 million buyer. Oh my God, I just got like 3 listings. Like they started telling me their success stories. And that was what really started getting me out of bed in the morning. So I retired from selling real estate in 2022. I went all in on coaching. I have this program called Video Boss Agent, where all I do is teach agents how to use YouTube. And that's the only thing I talk about. I talk a little bit about blogging as well, but I don't talk about Instagram or TikTok or anything because I made a multiple 6-figure business and now 7-figure business with YouTube, and that was it. So I know you don't need that other stuff. If you want to, go learn from those people, because I can't tell you squat about Instagram. I'm the worst on Instagram that there is. But I can tell you every freaking thing you want to know about making a YouTube video that will actually get your phone to ring. Mic drop.
Good stuff.
I need to sign up.
So ask me about the videos.
I'm still registering my. Like,
I know. I can see you guys
become so
looking
self-serving. Like I literally had on my website, I have like 5 years. Like I would do a weekly blog post talking about real estate investing. I have like 5 years worth of blog posts, and at this point, that are like stale. Like they're 3 years old since I probably wrote the last one because I just got tired of blogging.
Sure.
And I'm just like, I could turn every single one of these existing posts into a YouTube. I mean, that still takes some work, creating these short videos, but I've posted on YouTube plenty of times before, but I can literally just turn all of those blog posts into YouTube videos.
Okay. So they are not short videos. These are long videos. You want to
I'm not talking about YouTube shorts. I mean, short as in just a few minutes.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify that we're not talking about short form vertical content that has to be like super entertaining. My videos are almost all filmed in this room with this background, talking head style. It is just me talking to the webcam on my computer, nothing really fancy. But 8 minutes or longer is ideal because YouTube does not charge us any money, thank God, to upload our videos to the platform. They make their money from the advertisers. And if a video is longer than 8 minutes, they can show more ads. So if you can make a video that is at least 8 minutes longer, it's going to get more organic reach because they will make more money from the ads that are shown before and during and after the video ends. So try to shoot for a minimum of 8 minutes. Now, at the beginning, if you've never been making videos, you're going to be like, dear God, I could not possibly talk for 8 minutes straight. Clearly, I do not have that problem. So I have no problem talking for 8 minutes. But if you're just starting, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, it's fine. Whatever your topic is, I guarantee you can talk for 4 minutes about it. So
100%.
Yeah. So here's some of the big.
And that was a gem you just dropped. Like people may not realize, like literally free gem, like probably part of the course just got donated just now. So I'm sure there's many more gems in the Video Boss course.
Yes. So here's what most real estate agents do when they get on camera. Hi, I'm Karin. I'm a GRI. I'm a CRS. I've been licensed for 18 years. I have so many designations, I don't even know what they all are. Can I tell you how many houses I've sold in the last 20 minutes? And they make it all a big commercial about themselves and all of their accolades and their accomplishments and how they're a top producer and like #1 selling agent in my office in the last 10 years running. And they make it all about them. Nobody goes to YouTube to watch a commercial. If you do that, no one will watch your videos. They're going to click on it and be like, dear God, another freaking real estate agent, rah, 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 and they hit the back button and they will never watch your video again. But instead, if you said, are you going through divorce and you need to sell your house fast and you are freaking out because you have not updated the kitchen since 1978? In this video, I'm going to tell you the things that you absolutely have to do to sell your house for as much money as possible. And I'm going to give you the secret to selling it with no repairs whatsoever. So let's get going. And then you start talking about your tips. And you say, oh, by the way, I'm a real estate agent in blah, blah, blah with blah, blah, blah brokerage. And you keep talking. And then you get to the end and you're like, okay, so remember when I told you could sell it without making any repairs? I buy houses for cash and here's how I do it. And you give your little sales pitch. If you need to sell quickly and you want a cash offer where you don't have to fix a damn thing, the link is down below. So you've given them all of this free value, but then you've got a really compelling call to action, and you didn't make it all about you in the video, right? You made it about them, what they need, what they are struggling with, their challenge. And then you give them a resource where you come in as the guardian angel and you take this huge weight off of their shoulders, right? And you do that with every video over and over and over again. Before long, you will have the most freaking great business you could possibly imagine.
So I have a question about say as more agents, because we'll use agents in this case, because that's what you focus on, begin to maybe within one particular city utilize YouTube as a strategy and create videos. We want to share value. We want to focus on the client and what they're looking for sure. But would they more or less have similar questions? And then how can I create content to uniquely stand out and draw attention towards myself and traffic people towards me, rather than maybe some other agents in the same area that are also doing the same thing, right?
This is a great question, and I get it quite frequently. So let me give you a perfect example. When I started teaching agents, I was teaching this class in my own brokerage to all of my competitors, the people that lived in my own market, and a bunch of them started doing it. And I was not worried about it. Like at the very beginning, it was kind of like, oh, maybe this is not a good idea. I should be teaching this in a different state instead of in my own market. But what I found was that, like, I am female. I am in my 50s. I talk with my hands and I can talk fast and I get all animated. One of the guys that I taught this to was a good old Southern boy with a real thick drawl, and he speaks very slowly, and he's male. He was my polar opposite. The people that watched my videos that were like, we do not like her at all, would go watch Philip. And the people that watched Philip and were like, dude, get to the point. You talk so slow. They would come watch me. And it was fine, because I will never have 100% market share. And I only really need to work with the people who want to work with me because they like my personality. So unless you live in a town of 5,000 people and that's it, that's your whole market, and there's no opportunity for anything else, don't worry about it. If you live in West Palm Beach or Tampa or a major metropolitan area, Savannah is not that big. I think we have 300,000 people in Savannah itself, as well as the Tri-County area. Like, it's not that big of a city. It's probably nowhere near as big as where either of you guys are, but 300,000 people, that's plenty of people for me to be able to work with and still have room for all of my competitors to make videos too. But the thing is, they all start, they make 2 videos and then they quit. So it takes a lot of work. It's not hard, but it takes consistency and dedication, and most people don't follow through. They have all the best intentions. They start, they fully intend to do it, and then they get busy. So what do? They stop prospecting because they got busy working with clients. And then their pipeline drives up, and then they're like, oh crap, now I got nobody. And they either get back on the wagon, they start again. I hear this a lot, like, oh, I took a year off and now I'm ready to get back into it because I don't have any business. Or they just never start again because they're like, oh, it took too long. It was too much effort.
Yeah, you got to build that pipeline, build that runway. And like you said, you can't just stop, because then it'll dry up. And I mean, I've seen this between myself and others that I know have gone the YouTube route. And the funny part is, what you're doing is, I don't call it the easy button, but the fact that like you can do 1 video per week and still see success, because like, you know, I'm blessed to have some successful friends in other industries, and like one of them like in stock trading. He posts 1 video a day, and at one point was doing 2 videos a day, and he did that for 3 years until he got to the point where he was established, and he still does like 1 video a day as opposed to 2 now. But you know, I saw that with a lot of other people, and I started, you know, doing YouTube videos years ago, and I was like literally every day based on the content I was doing. But this is great because you're basically creating content that fills a need, and then giving people a way to solve their problem by getting in touch with you.
Yes.
It's
Now,
very targeted.
I did try making YouTube shorts and Instagram reels over the summer. And I said, okay, let's just try that as a strategy. Instead of making these long videos, let's upload 2 to 3 shorts a day. I did that for 3 months. I wanted to tear my hair up. Like, that is so much work.
Yes.
And those videos, they don't go viral unless like you are super entertaining. And then here's the worst part. I went and I looked at my analytics. My biggest audience was now 18-year-old boys who are not going to become my ideal clients, right? These are not. So the videos were being pushed out into the feed based on who was most likely to watch a short form video, but it was not my ideal client. It was not somebody who was ever going to hire me, and started making all kinds of very inappropriate comments that I'm not going to discuss here. Let's just say they were not my ideal clients. So I said, okay, that was a great experiment. We're not doing that anymore. We're going back to the long form content where we are strategically using keywords to attract our ideal demographic. And you can decide exactly what that is. So for my YouTube channel in Savannah, it was, my husband is retired military. So I said, I want to work with people who just found out that they were being transferred to Hunter Army Airfield. They're in the military. They're going to get here. And instead of living in base housing, I want them to buy a house. So I'm going to teach all of these VA buyers like how you can buy a house with your VA entitlement, and you can use your base allowance for housing to basically pay the mortgage. So you're buying a house with no money down and someone else is paying the mortgage for you. Like, who doesn't want a free house? And they never had apparently heard this concept before because nobody was making YouTube videos to talk about it. So man, I was getting military buyers left, right, and center over and over and over again. But remember, that very first lead that I got was a seller. He was not in the military. How he came across these videos, I don't know. Why he was watching them when I was talking about VA buyers, I honestly don't know. But he went to my website and he filled out the form that said, how much is my home worth? And when I called him to follow up, I said, how did you hear about me? And he said, your YouTube channel. The second lead I got was also a seller. He was in the military. He was being sent to Fort Eustis. So I listed his house and I also got the referral fee on the buyer side. So like, making all of this content was so amazing with this strategy of making a video version of the blog post. So I just went back to that. It was like, I don't need to make this short form content where I'm like singing and dancing and pointing to crap on the screen. Not only was it not working for me, it was not bringing me people that were ever going to become clients.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, specialization and, targeting the correct demographic, that is your ideal client.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it sounds so simple, but almost all of us mess it up. And I'm guilty of it too. And, you're better off specializing and focusing on that niche. And then some people outside of that are going to randomly stumble in, like the story you told about the Atlanta seller, as opposed to trying to hit everybody.
Yes.
Where you're not creating any kind of direct benefit to a single person. You're just generalized. I'm making up words, I guess. And this is something that I think a lot of people lose sight in, because they think about, I just need as many views as possible and go viral and blah, 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 blah. But not really. It's like specialize.
Yeah. I've never had a single video go viral. I will look at my analytics. Like, I have one video that's had over 100,000 views now, but I made it in 2020. So it's taken 3 years to get to over 100,000 views. It's great. But that's not going viral. I have a friend who made a video called Living in Montana, Things They Don't Tell You. It has legitimately had more than 2 million views at this point. And it got 1 million views in the first 6 weeks. That is going viral. And that's because that was during COVID, when everybody was leaving California in droves, and they were apparently Googling, like, what's it like living in Montana or Boise, Idaho, or Austin, Texas, or Florida, or any of the places that they moved to during the pandemic. He made the right video at the right time, used the right keyword, boom, it took off. I've never had that happen. And yet I still have an amazingly successful business. So you don't have to go viral. You just need to get your video in front of the right person at the right time. And so exactly what you said, you've got to have a very specialized audience for the channel. It's so much easier to start niche and then go broad versus you start broad. By the time you finally figure out you need to go more narrow, you're ready to throw in the towel because you've been doing it so long and you haven't gotten any business from it. So do yourself a favor, start with the niche instead. It will work. And then you'll be inspired to keep going because you know that it works.
100%.
So you could have any number of specialties on your channel, right? You could be, I am a real estate agent and I am looking for investors. I want to work exclusively with investors. I have a student in Canada in the Toronto area, and this was his area of expertise. So every video that he made was talking about like the BRRRR method and how to buy your first investment property and any other things like what's the cap rate and how do you figure out what that is. He was talking to people that were new investors or like wanted to become one, but didn't know really how to get into it. That was his specialty. That's all he talked about on his channel. It could be, I am looking for distressed homeowners. I want the opportunity to buy off-market listings myself. And if they won't take my cash offer because they're totally unrealistic, okay, I'll list it. We'll list it at what the fair market value is, but I want to buy it for myself first. So I need to get those people before everybody else gets to them. And I have a couple of rental properties myself. I only have 2. I want to start buying more. But the one I have that is such a cash cow, I probably get 5 text messages a week. Like, hey, I'm calling about your property at Sagefield. Do you want to sell it? No, I don't. It is so profitable. I'm not going to sell it. So you can just, cold reach out to people like that all day long, or you could make YouTube videos trying to reach them instead. You could make videos where you're trying to get people who want to buy a property to turn into a short-term vacation rental. Like there's so many different ways that you can go with your channel, and it doesn't matter which one you choose. It's just the one that you chose. And then when you talk about that on your channel, but somebody else in your market is making videos, they're talking about different stuff. They're not necessarily talking about the exact same things that you are.
So Karin, from someone who's not posting maybe any sort of content on social media, or at least on YouTube at this point, right?
Okay.
But is hearing everything you're saying and is very inspired by it. A question that comes to my mind is, how is it once you've identified your avatar, so you know who you're looking to talk to, how is it that you're able to come up with a new 8 to 10 minute video every single week for 5-6 years straight?
Well, it's so much easier now because of AI, but even back in the day before ChatGPT, it wasn't that hard because so here's what I found. The easiest client avatar is you 5 years ago, right? So if I wanted to buy my first investment property when I lived in California, but the median home price was $500,000, and it was during the crash, and they were afraid I was going to buy and bail. So I could not buy an investment property unless I had like $300,000 cash in the bank, because nobody would give me a loan because they thought I was going to buy and bail on my existing property because the housing prices had gone down so much. So I was never able to buy until I moved to Savannah. And then I bought my first house for like $92,000. And I thought I hit the mother lode because, oh my God, are you kidding me? My mortgage payment's like $500 a month. It was insane. So if I was talking to me 5 years ago, what were my questions back then? What was I struggling with? Where was I getting hung up? What were all of the stupid things I was telling myself that are just not true? But I didn't know that at the time because I was not an investor. So I don't even know what I don't know. I have all of these erroneous assumptions that really are not true. All of those things. You hear about these late night infomercials where they're saying, buy a house with no money down, use other people's money. And me, I'm thinking, oh, it's got to be a scam. There's no way that can be true. Like you can't, no, I'm going to have 20% down. This guy is a shyster trying to steal my money. So tell all of these things to that version of you before you figured it all out. If that's your ideal client avatar, that's truthfully the easiest way to do it. And then I could seriously just sit down and make a list of probably 25 questions in the next 5 minutes of things that I wished I would have known back then that would have made this whole process so much easier. And I would have become an investor a lot sooner than the ripe old age of like 49 years old. So that's one way. Now there's ChatGPT. Oh my God, ChatGPT freaking blows my mind on a daily basis. I can go in there and say, I am creating a YouTube channel. This is my ideal customer avatar. And then you spell out exactly what it is. This is the area that I service. I cover this area. It could be a county, it could be zip codes, it could be the general Savannah area, whatever it is that you want to say. The type of person that I am trying to attract is this. Give me 15 ideas for potential video topics. And ChatGPT is going to give you all of these great ideas. And then I take the idea and say, okay, so I understand the basic principles of SEO. I'm going to go do keyword research. If this is the topic, what would the ideal keyword be that I would want to try to rank for? And then I figure out what the keyword is. And then I come back to ChatGPT and I say, okay, write me a 5-minute long video script for a video called this, and this is the keyword. And then it will write out something totally stupid. It's very cheesy. It sounds totally like an infomercial. I hate everything about it. And then I will come back to it and say, I would never say this in a million years. This sounds way too self-promotional. Can you please rewrite this and make it all about helping the viewer? Do not introduce myself. Do not, blah, blah, blah. Do not ask people to like and subscribe. Don't do any of that stuff. It will revise the script. And I'm like, okay, this is a million times better. Now, you have to identify that you're a real estate licensee and who your brokerage is with. You do not need to do that in the first 10 seconds of the video, though. You could do it after a minute or 2 minutes into the video. You're still in compliance. You're just not, that's not the first thing out of your mouth. And then I will ask ChatGPT, okay, help me tell a more compelling story. When I am talking about this particular section, how can I make it so that the person will lean in and they just want to know more? And it will come back with all of this great information. And you'll have to go back and forth with it quite a few times, but do this for 20 minutes, half an hour. You'll have a great script by the time you're done. And then you can either just wing it or you can use a teleprompter app. I mean, it doesn't matter how you film it, just film it. And then please do not hold your phone like this. Hold your phone like this. It needs to be horizontal for YouTube. Don't make one of those vertical videos and then you upload it and it's got the big black bars on either side. It looks terrible. So hold it horizontally. If you want to get an app, like a teleprompter app that goes on your phone, you put your script in the app, it's going to scroll right next to the camera. So it looks like you're looking at the camera on your phone, but you're actually reading from your script. And do all of the things that we talked about before. Be super, super helpful. Do not be terribly salesy. Yes, identify yourself and your brokerage so that you don't get in trouble from your state, but you don't need to make it a whole thing. Don't ask them to like and subscribe in the first 15 seconds of the video. You haven't said anything yet. Why would they want to subscribe? Hey, everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Karin Carr. I'm a realtor with Real Broker here in Savannah, Georgia. Do me a favor and give this video a thumbs up. Why would I give you a thumbs up? You haven't said shit yet. Don't ask them for stuff before you give them the value. So you're going through your video. Let's say it's 5 tips to blah, blah, blah. And after tip number 3, you could say, are you finding this helpful? Do me a favor, hit the like button and subscribe to this channel because I make new videos like this every single week. And then you keep going. It's a throwaway statement. And they're more likely to do it because you're not just making the video all about me.
Good tips.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
No, seriously, this has been action-packed and it's been usable, actionable content, which is a theme in all the podcast episodes. Is action, action, action. And it's just you are clearly taking action, but also you've given people actionable items that they can run with. We'd be remiss if we didn't make sure we touched on 2 things. One would be you are going to be one of our awesome speakers at the 2023 100 Millionaire Summit.
I am. I'm so excited to be coming to this.
I got a feeling that you're going to be talking a lot about what we just talked about in this podcast. And people clearly are in for a treat, as I've just learned over the last 30 to 40 minutes. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm sure everyone else is going to enjoy it. In addition to that, and I'm assuming that's really what you're going to be talking about at the summit, right? What we've kind of talked about today.
Yep. We're going to talk
Perfect.
about how we can get actual clients from YouTube, whether you are trying to attract investors to work with, whether you are trying to find listings for yourself, whether you are trying to find listings that you can buy off market.
Awesome. Yeah. So it'll be more actionable content and information,
Indeed.
which is, always the value add. So good stuff. And most importantly, how do people get in touch with you if they want to consume more of this content or even work with you?
You can go to videobossagent.com if you would like. I have a ton of free resources that you can download. I'll tell you more about any of the programs that I offer in case it's something you want to delve into. My YouTube channel, if you want to look at my real estate videos, it's youtube.com/Karin Carr Real Estate. And you'll see the videos that I started making when I lived in Atlanta, and they are horrible. So feel free to go to the videos page and then sort oldest to newest. I guarantee you will feel so much better about your own skill when you watch my earliest videos. They're terrible. But then you go watch the most recent videos and you'll say, holy cow, they are so much better. Yes, that's what happens with practice. And I know, like, it's so much to learn, but you don't have to learn everything on day one. You just need to learn one thing. So if you decided to pick up your phone tomorrow and record a video, just remember, start the video with what's in it for them if they watch this video, and don't talk about yourself at all. Just do that one thing. And then maybe the next time you record a video, you say, okay, I got to remember to give a really good call to action at the end. And then the next time you record a video, you say, I want to figure out how to show something on screen. So my face is talking, but I'm talking about the neighborhood that has the awesome water slide. And I want to show that on the screen. How do I figure out how to do that? Just one thing with every video that you get a little bit better. After 6 months, you'll be 100% better than you are now. Like it's easy to keep taking little small steps and get better over time.
Absolutely. I can vouch for that because I've experienced it myself with my content
Awesome.
creation over the years.
Yeah.
So she is not wrong. It is true.
I mean, you can't help but improve when you're practicing this much, right?
Yes. And you will go back and look at your early videos and cringe, because I do that with all my course creation and everything I've done that's been video based.
You're like, oh my God, they were so bad. But you know what? You still got business from it.
Yeah,
Nobody ever said, I almost hired you, but boy, those early videos were so bad. They don't say that. They say, oh my gosh, I've watched all your videos. They were so helpful. I'm like, are you kidding? They were so bad. But to them, it's very helpful, especially when nobody else is doing it.
Yeah. Goes back to the specialization thing.
Yep.
That's so awesome. This has been awesome. Tons of good information. And like I said, you've got me reevaluating my content creation paths and methods. So I appreciate the time.
My pleasure.
If not everyone else.
Cool. So funny. Like the podcast host is like, I just wanted to ask you questions for my own personal benefit. And I mean, hopefully the audience will like it too.
This happens a lot of times with podcasts. It's just like, all right, really, I'm just going to ask the stuff I want to know. If you guys also get value from it, cool. But if not, not the end of the day.
Nah, it's all good.
So good. No, appreciate your time. Appreciate all the, tips and tricks you kind of shared, and, look forward to seeing you at the summit. And I think a lot of people are going to get awesome value out of it. So it should be an awesome presentation and just an awesome event overall. Thank you so much. And I will see you at the summit. Indeed. So for those of you that aren't getting there, make sure you get there. First weekend in November, 100 Millionaire Summit. You can go to, what is it, Andrew? 100mm. I always mess it up.
100mmsummit.com.
There you go. I would have had it right. I should have had confidence in myself. Cool. Yeah, we'll put we will see you on the next episode, everyone. And hopefully we will see you at the 2023 summit. Until then, go out there and make specialized content.